Anybody want to check it? Let me see what's on my phone.
Fancy, just move the chair back a little bit. You going live?
Yeah, it's on song.
It's live.
All right, Shalom. All praise, honor, and glory be unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachakodash. All right, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Peace and mercy to the house of David, the elect. All right, to you all we say greetings. I'm the brother Yeshai. Got the brothers here with me.
My brother Ash.
Brother Kananat.
All right, we here through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai to do another lesson. Lord willing, it's edifying. All right, so the brother, we out here in Tampa, you know, so we started thinking upon a lesson of what we can do to edify the Lord. And so, you know, it's all through the spirit. It's just flowing through the spirit. But we entitled it The Space Force versus the Lord, okay? Because in these latter days, you're going to have Esau Edom, the current ruling nation, all right, who's going to be under the subjection of it, under Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, and under the Israelites. All right, but of course they shall think in these latter days to fight against the Lord. All right, they're going to think that they can take up arms with the Holy of Holies, man, with the Holy One of Israel, and they think, and His Son, and they think that they're going to win that war. But the scriptures say differently. All right, so any brothers got anything?
Revelation 19, verse 19 reads, "And I saw the beast and the kings of the earth and their armies gathered together to make war against him that sat on the horse and against his army." You know, the beast, man, being Esau Edom, all right, and all his military might. And then it mentions and the king, so all the other nations as well, all right, all the Kim Jong-un and the President Chai and all them, they all gonna come up against the Lord. You know, they're gonna, like, who was it, Ronald Reagan? Yes. You know, if a outside invader comes, you gotta join forces. And now you got the Space Force, you know, officially been passed. You know, that's been in the works. But now it's official, you know. It's the sixth branch of the military, the fifth branch of it. You know, it's just like the Air Force. Now you got the Space Force, you know. So what do you think that's all about, man? Because they know the Lord's coming back in the chariots, man.
But like at the end of the day, why would outer space have to be? I forget what the term that they use, but why would it have to be governed? You know what I mean? If there's nothing out there, you know, and they like to, you know, Esau, and they'll make you think that there's aliens out there and all kinds of bug out shit. But if there's nothing out there, why would you spend what they spent $738 billion, all right, on this department, this branch? Yeah. You know what I mean? Why would they do that? Why would you put you don't put, you know what I mean? If you don't put high money on a bet that you think you're gonna lose. You don't put high money on something that doesn't exist. Okay, but they know through the spirit, and that's why, you know, now Donald Trump is talking about the prophets of doom. You know, kind of feel like you wanted to say something. Okay, yeah, you know, so through the spirit, they know that these things are going to come to pass. They know that Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is about to come wreak havoc on this planet Earth, man. All right,
they see the signs. You know, they see the signs that we see.
It is.
So they're right now scared.
Yep. Because the UFO sightings are increasing, man. Yeah. So they got Esau, you know, on the ropes, man. They don't know what to do. So the only thing he can do is be carnal about it and you know, try to prepare, you know, which he's gonna fail miserably at, you know.
Those UFO sightings are increasing rapidly, man. Yep. God. Yeah.
Second Ezra 13. Let's start at 1. And it came to pass after 7 days I dreamed a dream by night, and lo, there arose a wind from the sea, that it moved all the ways thereof. And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. And when he had turned his countenance to look, all things trembled that were seen under him. And that man is Yahweh Shai. As when you go to Revelation, the first chapter, every eye shall see, you know, men wailing. You know, so they were scared. You know, this big so-called black guy, you know, on the biggest chariot, where Ezra, described as a mountain.
And that's the thing, because people are programmed to think of, movies and, there's some Martians in there. So they're going to be scared. They don't know that that's the Lord,
Mm-hmm.
There it is. This is the man that people claim to worship. But they're going to be afraid because they don't know it's him, They're going to, like they call it an alien invasion, But really, it's our salvation. But it's a token of their destruction,
Mm-hmm.
So they're gonna be in people gonna be having heart attacks from that sight, man.
And it says a curse is a curse unto the world.
Yeah, what is it, Zephaniah 5, Zechariah 5.
Zechariah 5, that's right. Those UFOs, man, man, these people are going to completely bug out at the sight of those UFOs, man. It says that men's hearts shall fail. Yep. These people are going to completely break down. The Lord is like, they're going to instantly want to give up the spirit, man. And that's because, it says that the angels and the chariots are dreadful, man. All right, and when something brings dread upon you, it's not a light thing, man. And somebody that one in Psalms about the Lord coming with his thousands of saints. 68. That's it, brother. The water.
Whatever.
Get that. Yeah, that's on my spirit. Psalm 68, and let's see. Psalm 68 and this. Psalm 68 and 17. The chariots of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua are 20,000, even thousands of angels. The Lord is among them as in Sinai in the holy place. You see that? So the Lord, it says the chariots of the Lord are 20,000. All right, and this is many chariots, man. There's gonna be many chariots, and so one chariot is going. The fathership is gonna have these people bug the hell out, man.
It might be the size of America. Yeah. For all we know.
Yeah. And that chapter is gonna go into that the brother was reading. You know what I mean? But it says even thousands of angels. So when you those angels and they come in those chariots, man, it's gonna be a heavenly but terrible sight, man. All right, and these people gonna fall at the sight of the Lord, man.
Yeah, something literally out of this world, man.
Mm-hmm.
You see the movies and you're like, man, that's crazy. But wait till it actually, imagine, because now you see chariots, you see lights most of the time, quick. But when they just sitting there and you're able to see the detail in them, that's you see the material they're made from. That's what's gonna spook people, man.
That day, they're not gonna be hiding in the cloud.
Exactly.
You're gonna really see it.
Mm-hmm. They're coming out of that disguise, out of that cloak, man.
Yep.
And if you think about Esau and his version of chariots that he creates on the movies and shit, they're not even going to touch that, man. They're not going to touch the design or the graphic or the great artistry that the Lord made with the chariots, man. So people, your eyes are going to be like, what the fuck? Like, I've never seen nothing like this before, and so when people going to die, and then that's the thing, the world is going to know that that's Yahweh Shai coming. Because the word is going out, man. So all these people when they thoughts about aliens and shit, the word is going out that the men of the Lord and the angels and Yahweh Shai is coming back on those chariots. So it's gonna be like, hey, these men were right,
Especially when they see those men going up to those chariots. Yeah, that's the thing though. That's the Lord's army. Those are like the battleships, so to say. His chariots. He's gonna be fighting again. Esau's actually think he's gonna be able to take one down, man. Like that's how he's so foolish. He's talking about Roswell, a ship crash. That's bullshit, man. That ship crashed.
You never caught one. You never shot at one. But when that day comes, you're gonna be able to do it.
Yeah,
you bugged out.
Mm-hmm. And that's why they got like Area 51. See, Esau is the king of craftiness and subtlety, so what he does is he'll tell you he got this secret government agency that got stuff that nobody else has. You know what I'm saying? Oh, we got ships and aliens down here. Where did that come from? Because Esau is trying to perpetuate like he has the rulership. All right, so if you feel like, oh, we got things that are out of this world, you make people minds things that you have to control. And that's what part of like when they did 9/11. They did 9/11. They didn't even care that it got out that they the ones did it, because at the end of the day, they trying to be like the Most High, and like I kill it and I make it alive. You know what I'm saying? So they want you to think that they controlled it, that they pulled it out, and that they can do anything to you. That's what they want, Oh yeah, you can finish on yours.
2 Ezra 13, 4. whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burnt that heard his voice, like as the earth felleth when it filleth fire. That laser beam, that concentration heat coming out his mouth, out the mouth of the chariot, frying you niggas, man. You know,
zapping their power, man.
Beat the dust.
Cause that's Esau try to recreate that, but he can't do it on the level like that. You know, he can make little like lasers and shit, but he can't do it on the that concentrated where you can just zap somebody to dust, man.
Esau would love to do that because you know his blessing is a sword, so he would like, man, how can we do that shit? You know, and that's like that cartoon with what's the Martian Man? Y'all remember? The little green
Bunny
on Bugs Bunny, he had
Bunny,
the green
Martian.
helmet.
Yeah,
the Martian. Yeah, he used to have the disintegrating gun. You know what I'm saying? And he used to zap you. You know.
Yeah. That's the Lord's technology right there. I mean, don't get it wrong. Esau do got lasers that that are very high concentrated, but nothing like what the Lord's bringing.
Right.
You know.
Right. Absolutely.
5. And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of the number from the four winds of heaven to subdue the man that came out to sea.
That's gonna be in the midst of World War III. So while all they fighting each other, what they gonna do? They gonna like in the what was it?
World of
Worlds. They all came together, and everybody got to fight. Bring out the tanks, bring out the jets. You know, and it's because imagine that you in the middle of a war, and then these chariots just start showing up. You're gonna stop shooting at each other and be like, yo, we gotta shoot whatever this is, But it's gonna fail miserably, man. It's not even gonna be a battle, really. It's gonna be a landslide victory. The Lord is gonna play with them, because like the chariots do now, they'll go around the fighter jets, go around them, deactivate missiles and shit.
Remember the other one? I think it was Iran or Iraq. They was trying to shoot at it. It was just missing.
So imagine when all of the chariots come and the Lord comes,
And they had this guy, brother posted a video about he was in the Air Force, I don't know, probably like in the fucking 70s or 80s or something, and he was talking about how he said this thing, he basically he saw a chariot, you know what I'm saying, and he's like, man, like they told us to follow it, they couldn't keep up with it, and then he said they were looking, they were like, yeah, it's where you are. He said it just dropped. And he said anything that moved that fast, it would have to make a sonic boom. It would have to make a sound. You would have seen it, anything. He said, man, it was so fast. He was like, I don't know if it's from here, and I don't know if it's not from here. He knew it wasn't from here, man. He said at that time, they had the finest fighter jets that were made in the world. And they said they couldn't keep up with it, man. He said they would go, and he said, next thing you know, he said he got out of there, man.
Wow. And so they defy gravity, man.
Yeah.
They turn on a dime,
Yep.
No G-forces.
Ezekiel says that. It says they turned and they went now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it don't have to turn like a fucking jet. Gotta make that turn. Yeah. It can up, down, left, right, diagonal, however it want to turn, man.
Yep. And then on those jets, man, it creates G-forces when they're trying to turn and shit. And if you're not trained for that, you'll pass out. That ain't a problem on the chariots, You just turn instantly, or disappear, just disappear. Because they're interdimensional vehicles, man. They just leave the dimension. You can't even see them pop up behind you,
Yep, that's how the angels be like fucking with Esau and shit. Because they could just, if they didn't want to be seen, they could just get out of there. But they be fucking with Esau. Like, all right, let me go fuck with this motherfucker.
To puff him up, That's what scripture say, that pride of his heart is deceit, and he actually think he gonna be able to fight the Lord, man. That's a bad delusion, man. That's a horrible delusion that you think you can fight the Lord, But good, that's gonna make for a great ending, ending of the movie.
Yep, absolutely, bro.
6. But I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain and flew up on it. That's that chariot. Remember, it could be sizes of America, it could be the size of the moon.
Yep.
All right, every eye gonna see. But I would have seen the region or place where out the hill was graven, and I could not. He described it as a mountain. He was looking to see if it really was a mountain. Right. He could,
And that's in the sky. That's above your head. So you trying to look like, where's the end? That's in like brothers. Brothers kind of, and this is the thing you'll notice about brothers. Brothers, especially at nighttime, you always see brothers just walk out the house and heads be up. You know what I'm saying? Because the scriptures say in Luke the 21st chapter, look up because our redemption is nigh. You know, so when you think about walking outside and seeing the vastness of the sky, and realizing like of a chariot was to cover that, man, that's tremendous, man.
As far as the eye can see.
Yep, and as far as the eye can see, and the thing about we grateful because the Lord gave us the knowledge to understand that this is what's coming. But these other people, they gonna be like, what the hell? You know, like, all right, you know where you can, and that's another thing. It's like a ceiling. You know, that America's gonna have a ceiling on it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because if you think about people like, oh, I can run left, I can run right, somehow I can go up, you can't go down. So there's gonna be a ceiling. It's like you trapped. You know, it's gonna it's like claustrophobia within the earth. You know, where you tight spaces you can't get out of. Hey, they're gonna be claustrophobic because they're not gonna know how to escape the dangers of Yahweh Hashem Yahshua.
And imagine when they just from the sight of it, people are gonna be spooked.
Yeah.
You know, and dying. Imagine when they start zapping people, individual people. You know, these niggas standing next to you get zapped.
Yeah.
You know.
Your son, or your daughter, your
yeah.
dog.
Just instantly disappears.
Right.
It just turns into dust.
Right. No blood, just gone.
You're like, damn, he get caught up in the chair.
Right.
No, he's still there in the dust form though.
All right, yeah, just turning pure ashes, bro. You know, put that in the fucking you know, the jar. God.
Okay, go ahead.
And after this, I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were so afraid, but yet durst fight.
Cause those guys flying them jets, man, they're gonna be shitting their pants, but they're still gonna have to fight, man. The Lord gonna put a spirit on them to fight.
Yep. Heart of their heart.
Yeah. Yeah, and whatever the Space Force, you know, cause I see when Trump was just unveiling the logo or the patch, whatever, for the uniforms. And it was like, you know, just some bullshit. But they had like some space type jets, you know, behind them and shit. So, you know, if you get drafted into or not drafted, but if you join the Space Force, you this is what it's talking about. This is you know.
Yeah.
And it was funny you mentioned that you know, the badge, but also, you know, the uniforms. You know, they created the uniforms and they look like camouflage. You know, it's like a big joke online and shit. Like, why would you need camouflage in outer space? You know what I'm saying? Because camouflage. The reason for camouflage is because you know, like this brother got the army fatigue on. It's because the greens, the browns, they go well with the jungle. They go well with your environment. You got the lighter brown camo for like the desert. Yeah. You know, you even got the Arctic tundra camo, the white. You know, so why would you need that color camouflage for the space? But they know that this fight is gonna come to us. They know that they're not really gonna be in outer space fight. This fight is the Lord is gonna bring the fight to America, to the earth, man.
It's gonna be in the heavens, you know, the atmosphere.
Right.
But it ain't gonna be in
the outer exosphere, right? Yep.
He can't even, you know,
access that.
Yeah, exactly. He saw being up there. He be coming back all paralyzed and shit. You know, he can't handle being up there.
Right? Hell no, man. Yeah, them fucking jets, they ain't getting past there, man. Them shits
they can only go so high, you know.
As he got bounce, he can't pass.
9. And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand nor held a sword nor any instrument of war. But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath. And out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests.
So that chariot's not gonna have to do. It's gonna sit there and just blast niggas, man. They ain't gonna have to do no maneuvers. You know, throw out flares to to make the missiles miss. Nah, he's just gonna sit there and blast people, man.
Like a video game. Yeah, just getting busy.
And then you know, like they showed in the movie Independence Day, they probably got what's it called, shields, man. You know, them missiles ain't gonna do. They gonna be trying to shoot nukes at the Lord. And they ain't gonna do nothing, man. Just gonna blow up in midair, and then when the smoke clears, it's still gonna be there.
Yeah, shooting nukes, bro. That's how you know when you all else fails. You like, hey, yo, shoot these nuclear. When you know you become psychotic when you shoot nuclear missiles in your own atmosphere. You know what I'm saying? But they're like, hey, we gotta destroy this, but it ain't gonna happen. And that's the beautiful part about Independence Day. Just seeing them blowing up and they can't do nothing. But of course, Esau had to manipulate a way to where he won.
Put a virus in the hard drive. Come on, man.
They have a hard drive.
You know, hey, but I want to mention, because the verse you read before that, you said, you know, the Lord's gonna harden the heart of them. It's just like in the times of Egypt, man. You know, he hardened the heart of the Pharaoh. Yeah. We were just discussing that last night. You know, he hardened the heart of Pharaoh, so he's going to harden the heart of these people. Mm-hmm. All right,
the modern day Egyptians.
And he said, and, you know, and so the thing is, he said, we were talking about it. We were saying the reason, you know, another reason the Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart was because Pharaoh really didn't want to let the children of Israel go. Mm-hmm. You know, he wanted to hold them, but out of his fear, he like, all right, I'll think about letting them go. So the Lord like, nah, we gonna make you want to be a boss, you want to be this hard ass, you don't want to let my people go. All right, I'm gonna put that spirit on you to where you gonna hold them and you gonna ride this out. And that's the same thing that the Lord gonna do to them, man. Yep.
Mm-hmm. 11. And they were all mixed together, the blast of fire and the flame of breath and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude, which was prepared to fight, and burnt them up every one, so that upon a sudden of a innumerable multitude, nothing was to be perceived but only dust and the smell of smoke.
So all them armies that are, like we read in Revelation 19, the beasts and the kings of the earth and their armies, all that's gonna be the Lord just gonna zap them, man. And then all you're gonna see is dust and smell smoke, man. Like you ever burn something, you smell it, you get it. You know, that's all you're gonna see, man, and smell.
And it's gonna, you know, it's gonna be burnt flesh too. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, like that's gonna be an eerie, awry smell, bro. You know, fucking burned flesh and bone. Like, and you know, people ain't never smell like you got flesh, bone, all that shit just being burnt up. It's gonna be a terrible smell, man. That stench. Mm-hmm. Yep.
And all their vehicles too, you know, the jets, all that's gonna just evaporate, man. All the millions and billions of dollars they spend on this is gonna be in an instant, just eradicated.
Yep, a tank. Imagine a tank just getting one shot. You know, they like, shit, that's the best thing we got. You know,
and it took so long to make.
Yep.
Yep. All right. Now I saw this, I was afraid. Afterward, saw I the same man come down from the mountain and call unto him and another peaceable multitude. And there came much people unto him, whereof some were glad, some were sorry, some of them were bond, and others some brought of them that were afraid before offered. Then was I sick through great fear, and I awakened and said, Thou hast showed thy servant wonders from the beginning, and hast counted me worthy that thou shouldest receive my prayer.
Yeah, so that's the wonder the Lord showed Ezra, man. You know, he showed him that you know, and he was sick. He was afraid. He was sick after seeing that vision, man. Because he literally saw in the World War III, then the Lord returns, and he seen it go down, man. The Lord showed him that vision. Mm-hmm. You know, and even the man of the Lord was afraid. So how much more them that are gonna fight against him? But there's fight, man.
Yep. Yeah. You shall deliver me in those days. You know, I got a quick piece of 2 Ezra 16 and 11. It says, the Lord shall threaten, and who shall not be utterly beaten to powder at his presence. You know what I mean? Like, so when we were talking about those chariots, man, and the Lord's going to beat them to powder even if he didn't use the chariots. You know what I'm saying? But that's going to be a literal powder, man. These people are going to be disintegrating, falling left and right, you know, and the crazy thing is, you people, like the brother said, your children, you know, people have that effectual love for their children. Well, Edomites, though, they don't give a fuck. Yeah. But, you know, people typically have that effectual love for their children. And so to see your child just getting zapped away, you know, to see your wife getting zapped away, you know, and to see your house and everything, that's what, hey, the thing is, you nations and you current rulership, man, you know, and so the Lord is going to usher in a new rulership, and that's why we're not sitting here trying to build up America. Why we're not sitting here trying to influence the ways of this world. We want this to be taken down by our Lord, man. We're waiting for that war. We're waiting for the war of Armageddon, the war of Yahushua, man. We're waiting for that to take place, man. So everything that you know can be beaten to power, so that we can rebuild and start afresh, start anew. You know.
Yeah.
Keep going, man.
Nah, that was it. We can close out on this. This is Revelation chapter 12, verse 7. And there was a war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels. So again, you know, we read in Revelation 19 about the beast, all right, and the dragon is synonymous with the beast, all right. Those are interchangeable terms, all right. So mainly Esau is going to be the one leading the charge, because you got, you know, when we talk about the beast, you know, and the dragon, that you know, that encompasses the Russians as well, because back in during the Roman Empire, there wasn't, you know, the Russian Empire or nothing like that. It was just desolate wilderness. So this Esau, Edom is still, the Russians is still part of the dragon. They're just not part of the, the modern day EU and NATO. But nonetheless, they still gonna be fighting against the Lord. It says, verse 8, and prevailed not, neither was their place found anymore in heaven. All right, so they're not gonna prevail in any way. They're not gonna take down one chariot. They're not gonna be able to do nothing. And then it says, neither was their place found anymore in heaven, because this is their heaven. Yep. And when Yahweh returns, it's to destroy their kingdom, man. Last verse says, verse 9, and the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. So there you go, man. That old dragon, that serpent, the devil, is Satan. Esau, Edom. He gonna be cast out. No more shall Esau be able to tell you what you can and can't do, man. And him and his minions are all going down, man. Okay. That's it. Okay. All right. Go ahead, brother.
Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. We want to give all praise, honor, and glory to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Chakadash.
Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Peace and mercy to the house of David, the elect. Until next time, shalom.
Shalom.
This is thought of when we had read that Isaiah 14.